win. Coming from outside row number 1, Shane Hollingsworth in the second spot. A.J. Hopkins, Mr. Bicycle, comes home in the third position. And Jeffrey Newell, what a job he did as he drives the Dom 5N car to the transfer spot. So Spencer, Hollingsworth, Hopkins, and Newell are your transfer cars. Just missing out the 57D of Daniel Robinson. Did a nice job driving up through the field, but comes up one spot short. Michael Facinto in 6th, followed by Kyle Steffens, Danny Jennings, C.J. Leary, Wes McIntyre slipped back to 10th. Darren Kingston, Donovan Peterson, Stu Snyder, Kaylee Engstrom, Matt Hunter, and Chris Schutte are your final cars in B feature number 1, Brian. And that was a good one. Not much going on with the top 3 as Spencer, Hollingsworth, and Hopkins checked out. But, man, what an unbelievable battle for the transfer spot. So B feature number 2 should be rolling out that ramp, and here they come. This is the way we're going to line them up. B feature number 2, row number 1, driving the number 88 from Decatur, Illinois. That is Terry Babb, and outside of him, driving the 71 car from Enumclaw, Washington, it's Casey Kane.
Row number 2 out of Phoenix, Arizona, and the number 15, it's Chad Boat, and next to Boat out of Cometa, California, Bobby McNovich.
Row number 3 inside, young man from Indianapolis, Indiana, the 43B car. That's Brent Beauchamp. And to his outside from Goreville, Illinois, the 91 machine. That is Derek King.
Row number 4 in the 52 out of Wilkinson, Indiana, Isaac Chappell. And next to Chappell, the reigning ARDC midget champion, the number 1 out of Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, Trevor Kobolars.
A couple of wing sprint car racers in row number 5. Inside of that row from White House, Texas, the 80 car. That's Josh Hawkins. And to his outside from Murray, Nebraska, driving the 20 car, it's Tad Holloman.
Up on the wheel in the number 59 out of Owasso, Oklahoma, it's Dex Eaton. And next to Eaton out of Worcester, Ohio, the number 71, Jack Howdenscheld.
Your penultimate row, your C-Main winner from Coleman, Alabama, driving the number 2 car. We'll see what he can do here. He came from the back of the C, won that. That, of course, was the disastrous C-Main. But Kevin Thomas Jr. going to start inside of that row and is outside from Longview, Texas, driving the 35H. It's Tyson Hall.
And our final row out of Downs, Illinois, the 12 of Jay Mounts. And next to Mounts out of Beloit, Wisconsin, the number 31, David Budrus.
So that is your lineup for our second of 2 15-lap B feature events. So Babb and Casey Kane in that car, Brian, they're going to raffle off and the benefit Charlie Dean Leffler and a neat deal, Tony Stewart helping out with that car.
Yeah, Tony Stewart, Bobby's stepping up, helping out with that situation. And we get the one to go this time. Terry Babb with that gray number 88, Casey Kane right outside of him. Should be a interesting start here.
Well, you can see the wild child on the racetrack and that bright green number 71. So if you're a Jack fan, it won't be hard to see him no matter where the cameras are.
And he's going to be trying to get his way up through the field. But it's Babb and Kane. Nice jump by Terry Babb. We'll see if that goes.
Yeah, Kane pushed back to 3rd here on the initial start, and that's not going to happen. Yellow comes out on the racetrack, so Terry Babb getting the best of Casey Kane there in the Great Clips 71. So we'll try that one more time. And I would have to say the starts have probably been dicier tonight, Brian, than any other night we've seen. We've seen very few good starts to a race for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's really been tough for some reason, but we'll see what happens here with Babb and Kane.
There we go. They power up at the same time, but by the time they get to the stripe, Babb way out in front. And it looks like we're going to stay clean and green here as Chad Boat looks to the inside of Terry Babb. But Babb from Decatur, Illinois, going to lead lap number 1. And hang on, Jay Mounts brings out the yellow over in turn number 2. Turn number 2, Jay Mounts sits over there. So hold everything. Jay Mounts from Downs, Illinois. You know where Downs, Illinois is, Brian?
It's down in the middle of Illinois.
Third time's a charm for Babb and Kane. This time Kane gets a big run out to the outside of the racetrack. Still going to relinquish the lead to Babb, but we'll see if he can get by Chad Boat when they get to the backstretch.
Nice job by Terry Babb in the 88.
Chad Boat on the bottom of the racetrack looking for the lead. Casey Kane right in the mix as well. Beauchamp was 4th, and you saw him lose the handle.
Yellow.
And now we got a mess over in turn number 2.
It's the end of the line for the wild child. You can see the front axles broke. Boat champ also involved, and unfortunately with the safety crew around it, I believe that might be Derek King.
So we'll see if we can get an identification. Derek King in the 91, Beauchamp in the 43, and Honshield in the 71. Derek King climbs out of the number 91. So it looks like we might lose all three of these cars here in this incident.
Front ends are out of the 71 and the 43. Well, we talked about Hauenchild needing a few of those yellows, but he was actually one of the yellows. So,
and there you see the field. Midway through there, you see that black number 2 car. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying to pull the Kevin Swindell move here tonight. He's been less spectacular than Kevin was last night, but albeit still in the same position. He could go from C to B to A, could Kevin Thomas Jr. in that black number 2 car. Pulls up behind Tad Holloman in the 20, so we'll keep an eye on him as we get back to green flag racing action. Terry Babb, very slow start off the bottom of the racetrack, and then goes right to the cushion as he works the back straightaway. Kobilar is following there on the high side in the black and red number 1.
Oh, and they left the top open for Kobilar's as he gets 2 cars. He's up to 4th. He's about to dispose of Chapel.
That's the transfer spot right there. That's where you got to be for Trevor Kobilar's. As he works to the outside of Chapel, takes the 4th spot. Chad Boat working 2nd. Casey Kane in the 3rd spot. Kobilar's now takes the wall there. Gathers it back together, maintains the transfer spot. Chad Boat reeling in your race leader, Terry Babb.
And so is Casey Kane up on the high. Oh, Kane. It looks like he may have a problem. Yep.
Casey Kane coasts to a stop down the middle of the back straightaway. And it's not been a good chili bowl for Casey Kane in that special number 71 car.
No, tough break as the car comes to a stop.
All right, real quick, let's hear from Scotty Cook.
Well, thank you very much. Casey Kane losing power and taking it to the rim. They say race car just losing power. No smoke, no sign, possibly jumping out of gear. We do not know for sure. Back to you for the action conclusion.
Terry Babb still your leader here as Kobilar is now in the 3rd spot. Isaac Chapel in the 4th and final transfer now in that black 52. So still a mystery on the Casey Kane and number 71 car.
And here comes McNovich on the high side. Kobilar's so smooth early on the top. Justin now has made a couple of bobbles and kind of in a clutch zone there, running in 3rd.
We'll keep an eye. That's the battle for the transfer spot. On the bottom, Isaac Chapel in the 52. McNovich on the high side in that black number 84.
Let's give a call to David Budrus in the 31. From dead last, 16th up into 7th. So Budrus in the 31 has passed 9 cars in 8 laps.
Oh, here comes McNovich around the outside of Chapel. Good race for the top spot. Chad Boat giving Terry Babb all he can handle at the high side. Here comes Boat chasing Babb down the back straightaway. 9 laps in. Next time by will be at 10 with just 5 to go.
We'll take a look here. Boat little impatient there with Terry Babb. They're both got to transfer in. They just need to get this race over with.
So it's Babb, Boat, Kobilar's, and McNovich now in the 4th and final transfer spot. It's a great race for the lead. Terry Babb just ringing it right around the outside of the racetrack. Here comes Boat to the inside. Nothing doing for Chad Boat on the inside.
And that gives Babb a big advantage. Those 2 drivers pulling away. Kobilar's and McNovich safely in 3rd and 4th.
2 to go. 2 to go for Terry Babb. Be a big win for him, Brian, if he could hold off a car like Chad Boat here in this B main.
Yeah, definitely a white flag this time.
Chad Boat right on the tail tank as they work down the backstretch one final time. Chad Boat going to try the bottom, not going to do anything silly. Terry Babb going to get the win here in B feature number 2. Terry Babb, the veteran from Decatur, Illinois, gets the win. Chad Boat home 2nd, Trevor Kobilar's 3rd, and Bobby McNovich we see there hanging on for that 4th and final transfer spot. So congrats to the veteran. We talked about him at the very top of the show, Brian. Sold everything to go midget racing, and it pays off for him here right now.
Yeah, did a great job. Picked up a feature win last year, too, and definitely one of the nicer guys you'll find in the pit area.
So Terry Babb is your winner. Chad Boat home second. Trevor Kobalars in the third spot. And Bobby McNovich in your fourth and final transfer spot. So Babb, Boat, Kobalars, McNovich. We'll see them in the A. Everybody else, Isaac Chappell, David Budrus from the back, Dex Eaton, Kevin Thomas Jr., Tad Holloman, Tyson Hall, Jay Mounts, Josh Hawkins, Casey Kane, Brett Beauchamp, Derek King, and Jack Hodenshield. They are all finished for the night. So Babb, Boat, Kobalars, McNovich. We'll see those guys in a little bit in our main event. And the buzz begins to build in the building here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Fourth and final preliminary night main event coming out here shortly as we will show you your A main lineup. Your pole sitter, high point man. We start him straight up after the heats in the qualifiers from Watertown, New York, driving the 47X. That's Tim McCready. Into his outside from Noblesville, Indiana, driving the 63 car to be Brian Clausen. Runner 2 on the inside from Hollister, California, the 56R. That's Ryan Bernal. And outside of him, the 17R car. That is Dave Darland. So Dave Darland outside row number 2. Row 3 on the inside from Owasso, Oklahoma, the 21. That's Darren Pittman. And to his outside from Avon, Indiana, driving the 2ST car, John Stambro. Row number 4 inside from Minden, Nevada, the 67. That's the 7 starting spot. That's the 67 of Tanner Thorson. And outside of him from Corona, California, the 68 of Ronnie Gardner. Row number 5 inside, the 17K, that's Alex Schutte from Redding, California. And his outside, the 57M from Yorba Linda, it's Matt Mitchell. Row 6 inside, the 73N of Nick Foss. Outside, the 21K of Corey Cruzman. He will start outside row number 6 in the 12th starting spot.
And in row number 7 out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, in the 91, Tyler Thomas. And next to Thomas, the 39 out of Carmel, Indiana, Dylan Welch. Row number 8 in the 7 out of Millstadt, Illinois, it's Austin Brown. And outside of Brown, in the number 56 out of Riverside, California, Darren Hagan. Now we move to our transferees out of our 2B mains. Row number 9 out of Temecula, California, in the number 51. It's Mike Spencer, and outside of Spencer out of Decatur, Illinois, the 88, Terry Babb. Row number 11 out of Indianapolis, Indiana, in the number 85, Shane Hollingsworth. And next to Hollingsworth, out of Phoenix, Arizona, the number 15 of Chad Boat. Row number 11 in the number 21 out of Brownsburg, Indiana, A.J. Hopkins. And next to Hopkins, out of Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, the number 1 of Trevor Kobalars, our 12th. And final row out of McLeod, Oklahoma, the number 5 of Jeff Newell. And next to Newell, out of Comedia, California, Bobby McNovich.
So that will do it here. That is your starting lineup for our 4th and final A main preliminary night feature event. Crowd is ready.
We're ready.
Some coveralls there. Gotta like that as we get ready to go racing here. McCready and Clausen cinch the belts, creep towards the line. Friday night feature underway.
And just like we said, McCready on the bottom in the Bondio 47. Clausen running the high side in the Doolin 63. 1 in the books. McCready's your leader.
Clausen not giving up on the cushion there as he takes it down the back stretch. McCready wheeling that thing on the bottom of the racetrack. He'll lead lap number 2.
Yeah, doing a nice job back in 3rd. Right behind him is Ryan Bernal. The top 3 the top 2 cars actually begin to pull away from the field slightly.
There you see some drivers moving up through the field. Stambro, Jason Darren Pittman, and there's Darland looking for that 3rd spot away from Ryan Bernal. Here he comes. Dave Darland into a transfer spot.
And he gets it.
Darland moves Bernal back to 4th. Darren Pittman 5th. There's your race leader, Tim McCready. McCready, Clausen, Darland, right now your A-main starters. But we still got 20 to go here, Brian.
Yeah, Clausen trying to get it done on the cushion. It's a long way around, and it's just not happening right now.
Clausen, though, keeping the car on the top, waiting for lap traffic. It should be here in just a couple laps, trying to help Clausen out.
We're at 7 complete.
That's the battle for 6, 7, 8, 9. Really close quartered racing there mid-back.
Actually, about 6th through 13th. I mean, there's Tanner Thorson in the 67. He's up in the 6th. Keep your eyes on the Toyota 67 car.
Thorson doing a nice job on the bottom, and then you see 2 wide all the way back, and here comes Clausen. He's caught McCready in an open track. Oh, there's a car bouncing just in front of him there off the wall, and that's Kovalars. Comes to a stop there, Brian, and just as they were getting to lap traffic hits the outside wall and brings out a yellow flag. So Brian Kovalars, an up and down night for him here tonight, Brian, and brings out a yellow flag.
Yeah, tough break. He actually got up over the cushion just as, well, he's ending his night there, just as the leaders were coming up on him. Tough break for the reigning ARDC midget champion. And with that, 8 laps complete, so we'll stop our consecutive streak at 79 laps, but that's still impressive, Justin. I mean, if you came in here this week and they said we'd run 79 straight feature laps,
yeah, right,
under green, you'd be asking somebody if they inhaled too much of the air in here.
That's tough to do at like a NASCAR race, to run 79 consecutive laps, much less in this building with all that's at stake and all the different skill levels and variety of driving. It's been an impressive week, and comes to a stop here on lap number 8.
To put it into perspective, I believe it was like 150 some laps they ran straight green at the Indianapolis 500 this year. That was the all-time record for the longest streak of non-caution there. So you know, it's definitely it's tough here, and I would definitely say, you know, Tanner Thorson, we want to look at the 67. He's done a good job, even though he's only moved up 2 spots. He fell back at the start and you know, progressed himself back up there into 6th position right now.
Nick Voss moving up nicely. He's just behind Tanner Thorson there on the racetrack in that 73 car. He moved up, you know, started mid-pack, been moving up nicely, and you know, without any yellow flags and no attrition, it's been tough to move forward. The racetrack, it's conducive to good racing, but nothing to charge from the back, Brian. It's pretty fast all around the track, and it's going to be tough for these guys to really make a drive through the race field, or through the field.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, just as Clausen was about to pass McCready, we got a restart.
Clausen, he could fall prey to Darlin here on this restart. Dave Darlin on the bottom of the racetrack in the black 17. He now moves to the top as well.
Clausen is going to be a good lap and a half up or so, or 2 laps up there to get a good run going, unless McCready makes a little bobble. He did kind of slightly there.
Here he comes, Clausen, looking for the lead. Lap number 10, scored to the 63 of Brian Clausen.
And immediately McCready goes up to the cushion after getting passed by Clausen.
So your top 3 cars remain Clausen, McCready, and Darlin, and there we go. Cinderella run for Nick Foss comes to an end in the 73N car. He was up to the 8th spot, and Nick Foss, problems on that Fontana-powered 73N machine of the JFM Ford Motorsports stable.
Of course, they're riding high coming in here to Chili Bowl. That's the car and the team that Dave Darlin drove in the Turkey Night Grand Prix to victory. So they're trying to make it two in a row for the big ones, but unfortunately, hopefully he can get restarted.
And at the very worst, he gets to live in Huntington Beach, California. So Brian Clausen taking the lead away from Tim McCready there. Brian Clausen, his teammate last night in the Joe Dooling stable, Michael Pickens already locked in, and Brian, to have 2 of your 2 cars locked in would be huge for that team.
Yeah, definitely. Rusty Coons working his tail off down there, and that is Brian Clausen's new ride for 2014. They will be running the entire USAC National Midget Dirt Series this year, so we'll see Clausen in the 63 full-time. Should be a real factor in the chase for that USAC crown.
Boy, those are sharp-looking race cars, too, as Clausen is going to be your leader. Right behind him will be Tim McCready in that Bondio 47. Bondio looking good in that race car, but ran the bottom and moved to the top as soon as Clausen got by him, did McCready. Still in a transfer spot. Dave Darlin there in the 3rd position. Oh, we see
Hopkins.
Hopkins stopped there on the inside of the racetrack, Brian, just coasting around under caution, and 21 AJ of AJ Hopkins coast to a stop over here in front of us in turn at number 4. So we'll see if Hopkins is done for the night. Looks like he is, but still not, I mean, disappointing, but AJ Hopkins, I'm sure his goal here was to make the A-main. Mission accomplished for the young man from Brownsburg, and we'll get him pushed back into the pit area. All right, Clausen, McCready, and Darlin. Your top 3, Bernal, Pittman, Thorson, Stambro, Welch right in the mix as well. Alex Schutte, Ronnie Gardner, Corey Kruzman up to 12th. Brian needs to start making some moves.
Yeah, definitely. Otherwise, he's going to be in one of the C's.
T-Mac going to try it on the bottom. Pittman around the outside of Bernal there for the 4th spot. And McCready, he's making it work down there, Brian, sticking right with Clausen on the high side of the racetrack.
Yeah, he's making it work right now, but on the high side, the guy that's really making it work is Pittman, as he's going to split Bernal and Darlin, and it doesn't work at all, and he loses a little bit of ground. Now Bernal goes up to the top, slides up in front of Pittman.
Gutsy move there by Bernal. Pittman's just going to tuck back underneath. Getting dicey here for 4th and 5th between Bernal and Pittman. Tanner Thorson just behind him watching it happen. McCready back to the cushion in the 2nd spot. Darlin now under fire for that transfer spot. And Pittman almost had him. Thorson battling with Bernal as well. Tanner Thorson now up to 5th.
These guys back here probably are hoping for a caution right now to get themselves back into the fray. And
ask and you shall receive.
McNovich, who was running at the tail of the field, spun around in the front stretch wall.
So the Fabosi 84 car of McNovich was running in the 22nd spot. Let's see if there's any front end damage there. Looks like maybe just got spun around a little bit. Perhaps Bobby can refire. For top 3 remains unchanged. It'll still be Clausen, your race leader, in the 63 as McNovich gets pushed back here onto the racing surface. And it'll be Brian Clausen, your leader, McCready 2nd, Dave Darlin in 3rd, Brian.
Yeah, definitely. Let's also give a call to the number 39 out there. That's Dylan Welsh. Dylan Welsh in the number 39 is now running in 7th position. He started in 14th. So Dylan Welsh is doing a really great job here at the Chili Bowl, passing 7 cars out there, and none of them were spun out cars. So Dylan Welsh doing a great job here, first time at the Chili Bowl.
There he is, right there in that number 39 machine. So Dylan Welch making a name for himself, and you can really propel yourself into some good rides coming out of the Chili Bowl, Brian. Everybody's watching this time of year, and if you can have a nice performance, you can really do some things for your career.
Yeah, there's some guys that have propelled and used the Chili Bowl to help them along.
We'll see Welch coming by here in the number 39 car. We'll keep an eye on him. He's going to restart in the 7th spot. Looks like a little action in the work area. So that might have been Shane Hollingsworth over there in the work area.
He is in the work area, and we're going to be going green here in a half a lap. So unfortunately, looks like his Friday night's over.
Clausen back to the lead as they work the backstretch. Look at Tanner Thorson. The battle heating up there for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Thorson now gets by Darren Pittman. Tanner Thorson to the 4th spot there in the black 67. You see the big Toyota logo on the side. Tanner Thorson on the move in that 67 car, Brian.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, having never been here at the Chili Bowl and limited experience. He's running a beat down on Darlin.
Thorson chasing Darlin for that final transfer spot. Only 3 cars locked in right now. Dave Darlin has that last ticket. Thorson to the inside. It's going to get good. 8 laps remaining.
Here comes Pittman.
Pittman now into the mix.
Here comes Ronnie Gardner. Shot out of a cannon. He's up to 6th, to 68.
Thorson, Pittman, and Gardner, a 3-car battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Gardner to the inside. Slider coming up on Thorson. He takes the spot. Thorson takes it right back. Bernal into the mix as well. Meanwhile, at the front, Clausen, McCready, Darlin, still your transfer cars.
5 to go this time by Justin for Clausen.
Darren Pittman in that 4th spot there in the red number 21 car, trying to close in on the black 17 to Darlin. Pittman 1 spot out. McCready a big bobble there. Darlin into the mix as well. Brian Clausen completely gone. And now we got a great 3-car battle developing here for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, and actually not too far behind him is Thorson and Gardner, so 5 cars lined up. Unfortunately, this great battle only has 2 laps to go.
Brian Clausen works the backstretch into 3 and 4. Next time by, he'll look at the flag stand, see the white flag. Final lap for Brian Clausen. Clausen down the back straightaway, 1 final time, way out in front. Looking to coast to an easy preliminary night victory. Brian Clausen going to do it from outside row number 1, gets the win. Oh, Tanner Thorson parks the 67 in turn number 4. Tim McCready going to get 2nd. Dave Darlin will be 3rd. Darren Pittman 4th. Ryan Bernal home in the 5th spot. Chad Boat 6th. Mike Spencer 7th. Alex Schutte 8th. Matt Mitchell 9th. Dylan Welch 10th. Brian Clausen gets the win, but Tanner Thorson spins and collects Ronnie Gardner.
The guy's running 5th and 6th.
Wow. Tough break, but what a dominating victory there for Brian Clausen. Brian has took him a bit to get going on the high side, and once he did, he gone.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was.
Heartbreaker in front of us here in turn 4 with Thorson. First time here, spinning on that last corner. But Brian Clausen making a statement. This could be the year he finally gets that driller. You say finally, he's a young man, but he's been coming here a long time, Brian, and he's been in contention for a long time.
Yeah, he's definitely been close once or twice, and he's going to park the...
What a pro. Act like you've been there before, Brian, as he just coasts the car into victory lane, getting set to climb out.
First time driving for Joe Doolin. Great job, Rusty Coons and the crew.
His 2nd preliminary night win in his Chili Bowl history. He's out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise. Oh, he's out of the car now. You can hear your winner tonight, Brian Clausen. I know how much you love to win, period. I don't care what it is. You love to win. And I know dang good and well you've been pretty frustrated the last few years not being able to do that, but now you have.
Yeah, it's. I think everybody in this building, but the guys down in the Swindell camp have been pretty frustrated over the last few years. But, man, Rusty Coons, Joe Doolin,